So this weekend I had 3 DJ gigs, and these 3 DJ gigs were within the span of 2 days. And one of them was at 1 a.m. So right now, like I'm feeling pretty exhausted. I usually have a DJ gig every single weekend, but having three in one weekend, my God, like it was tough. But it was definitely worth it. And I had a lot of fun. And it reminded me of like why I love music, why I love DJing. Because right now I feel like as an artist, I am in the season of like saying yes to everything because it's all really new. Like I love meeting new people. I love the experience that I get from these new opportunities, but also I just love sharing music. And it's kind of like in the beginning when you're teaching music where you're just trying to get experience. You're just trying to get new students, trying to learn from everything that you're taking on. And it's a good season to be in, especially in the beginning. But over time, like something starts shifting where you don't want to take on every student that inquires anymore. You only have room for the students who pay your highest prices. Because although I'm in this season of saying yes to everything for myself as an artist, I definitely feel myself going towards the next level where I don't say yes to every gig. I don't say yes to every opportunity that comes my way because it's starting to cost my energy. If I had 3 gigs every single weekend for the next 6 months, I would definitely be burnt out. And that's how I felt when I was teaching piano lessons back in college. Like I just remember going from, I had to go to school in the morning to rehearsals to then driving to my students' houses, like through traffic, through peak traffic, and then going back to school for night rehearsal. Doing that for a couple years was exhausting. Like I didn't even have enough energy to spend time with friends or practice myself or even like do homework. So every single day I had to like choose between what I needed to do, even though all of those things needed to get done. So although I'm saying yes to everything right now, I don't want it to get to a point where I am feeling like I have to take on this gig because I need the money or because I need to further my career. I feel like the way to further my career as an artist, but also as a teacher is not by saying yes to everything, but being intentional about what I say yes to. Because in the beginning, you probably took on every student and that was a good season to be in. But right now, your schedule's probably really full. Saying yes to another student right now is probably the last thing that you want to do, even though another student might mean more money in your bank account. But as we grow as teachers and as we grow as artists, what's most important is our energy, because your energy is most important when you show up for your students, right? When you need to lead them, when you need that energy to make music also. But if you don't have any of that energy, if you're feeling burned out all the time, like that's going to show up in your student results, because this is the part where most music teachers get stuck and is actually stopping them from reaching the next income level, right? At first you say yes to every student, you need the experience, but eventually it starts to drain you. The returns that you get don't actually match what you put in. And it starts costing you the life that you were trying to build in the first place. And the real shift isn't about saying no, right? We're not rejecting every student that comes our way, but it's about knowing what you're saying yes to instead. What we're really doing as teachers isn't giving lessons, we're building relationships, right? And when I think about what are we saying yes to in our music studios, we're saying yes to the right students. We're saying yes to the community that we're trying to build. There's going to be students out there who are never the right fit for you and that you're never the right fit for them. When you say yes to every single student that inquires and gets everybody in, you're actually stopping the students from finding the right mentor for them if you're just taking them on for the money. But if you're trying to find the right students, right? The ones who are self-led, the ones who light you up, right? When you think about your favorite students, those students aren't just looking for someone to teach them more scales or to teach them how to play music faster. Like they're looking for a mentor to grow with. And that only happens when you're able to show up as that mentor for them, when you have that energy for them, when you create the right space and the right community for that growth to happen. So if we're constantly saying yes to every single student that comes our way and we're depleting our energy just because we need the money, how else are you going to create that space for them? So the question here is like, how do I know when a gig or when a student is the right yes for me? Of course, only you can be able to figure that out. But for me, what my process has been is thinking about, is this opportunity or is the student going to help me get one step closer to that dream life that I want, or one step farther, right? And that's all we can really think about. So if you are watching this and you feel stuck in the season of like trying to say yes to everything just to survive, what's most important here is getting out of that survival mindset and living out of vision. When you live out of vision, it becomes so much easier to know what to say yes to, rather than going through trial and error and saying yes to everything and realizing that like that's going to burn out your energy. So just wanted to share this story because it was really relevant for me right now. And I feel like when I'm thinking about the two sides of my life as a musician and as a coach, I'm living in two different seasons, but that's okay. And what's the most important is realizing what season am I in what part of my life. So I'm kind of curious for you, what season of life are you in as a music teacher? And where do you feel like in your business are you saying yes out of fear and not alignment?